Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a really fun video. We're gonna be taking this shot and turning it into this shot. Without any further ado, let's just get started in Premiere Pro. The first step is going to be color correction. Now you guys already know how I color grade. I've made countless videos on it in the past. So to keep it simple, I'm just gonna do my basic color correction, you know, adding contrast, adding saturation, and I'm going to go for a little bit of a darker look. So I'm gonna make sure those shadows are really dark and deep. Now I'm gonna apply one of my LUTs. This LUT is called Emerald. You can buy my LUTs for 10 bucks. There's a link in the description. So we'll adjust the intensity of this LUT to get the style that we want, and there we go. Alrighty, this is a significant improvement, and the color grade will kind of be the foundation for this entire edit. Another thing that I always do is add a vignette. Usually I just lower it and feather it all the way just to add more contrast to the edges and kind of draw more of the attention to the center of the frame. Now we're gonna try to make a blurry lens roll-off effect. I don't know if that made any sense, but just follow along because it will soon. We're going to add the VR blur effect. So we're going to bring the blurriness up a little bit. Now create a circular mask on that effect and invert it. Now we're going to increase the mask expansion so that the blurry effect is only affecting the outer edges of the clip. Now just increase the feather a bunch to soften it out so it doesn't look too harsh. Now don't go overboard with this. It looks really nice when it's subtle. Now I'm going to fix the wide angle distortion. Depending on your focal length, you might not even need this, but it's pretty simple to do. All you have to do is add the lens distortion effect and bring it down just a little bit. I was shooting at a 15mm focal length, so I'm going to bring it down just to -5. Just do what looks best if this is even necessary. Now if you click before and after, you can see a significant improvement, but we're not done quite yet. We're going to add another lumetri color effect. And for this one, we're going to lower the exposure of the entire thing. Right now, we're doing an effect called a gradient, and basically that can just darken or lighten a specific part of the frame. In this case, we'll make a mask around the lower part of the image and feather that out a whole bunch. Now I'm going to add another gradient to brighten the top corner of the frame. So we'll add one more lumetri color effect, and this time I'm going to raise the exposure and even the temperature a little bit as well. One thing I should say right now is keep all of these effects subtle. If you go overboard with any of these, it could look really bad. Anyways, we'll make that mask on the top corner, feather it out a whole bunch, and I'm gonna drop the opacity just a little bit. There are a couple more things we can do here, but I'm gonna start off by making a soft highlights effect. It's super easy, just duplicate the clip, putting the duplicate right on top of the original clip. Then add the luma key effect and increase the cutoff so that all you can see is the brightest, whitest highlights. You can turn off the visibility of the bottom layer just to see what you're working with. Now add the fast blur effect and increase the amount just a little bit to blur those highlights out. Then just turn back on the visibility of the bottom layer, and there you go, you have a softened highlights effect. Now there's one last thing to do, and this is kind of a stylized choice, but I always like to do it, and that is adding grain. A lot of people actually don't know the difference between noise and grain. Grain is good, grain adds texture. Noise is bad, it usually has color and ultimately just takes away detail. So what I'll do is I'll take a 35mm film grain texture and just overlay that on top of our original clip. You can find those online for free. So I'll drag it on, switch the blend mode to overlay, and we're done. Wow, that was a lot. That was a lot of techniques discussed in this video. But I hope you found some new ideas or techniques that you can use in one of your projects. And if you did, please leave a like or subscribe. By the way, none of these effects will actually work with bad footage. So learn how to get good footage. Watch the video on the screen right now. But that's it for me today. I will see you guys in the next one.